Elias steps into a luxury boutique. The door closes behind him with that soft, expensive sound. The air is colder than the street. The music is quieter than silence. A woman behind the counter looks up. She holds his eyes for exactly 1 second too long. Then she looks back down. She is not rude. She is not warm. She has just done something to him, and he is not sure what it is. Inside his chest, a small question forms. Do I belong here? That small question is not a side effect. It is the product starting to work. He has not touched anything. He has not asked a price. He has not seen a single seam up close. And the boutique has already sold him something. Not a bag, not a watch, a feeling, a doubt, a subtle test he did not sign up for. Most people think luxury is about better materials, cleaner stitching, stronger engines, rarer leathers, older houses. And yes, some of that is real, but it does not explain everything. It does not explain why a quiet boutique can make a confident adult suddenly feel like a teenager again. It does not explain why some people pay more the more difficult it becomes to be served. There is something else under the price tag, something the brand never says out loud. Luxury does not sell the object. It sells the distance between who can have it and who cannot. That is the lens this channel is built around, not to make the world louder, to notice the systems already working in silence. Brands, status, money, small choices that look personal but are shaped by something larger. Once you start seeing it, the world stops looking the same. Walk into a place where the staff is too warm, where they greet everyone, where every customer is welcome. That place feels safe. It also feels common. Now walk into a place where the staff seems unimpressed, where you have to earn the second glance. Something strange happens inside a lot of people. They do not leave. They lean in. They want to prove the room was wrong about them. Researchers have actually studied this. In luxury contexts, a cold or slightly dismissive interaction can increase desire in some aspiring customers. The insult becomes a sales tool because ego wants to erase it. Elias finally looks at a price tag. The number is high, higher than he expected. He sees his own reflection in the glass right behind it. And for a moment, two things overlap: the number and his face. He is not asking if the bag is worth the price. He is asking if he is. That is the trick. The product becomes a quiet exam. But rejection is only one move. The opposite works too. Sometimes luxury does not push you away. It lifts you up. You have a good eye. This is usually for our more serious clients. Most people don't notice this detail. Suddenly, you are not a stranger in the room. You are someone the room recognized. And now, walking out empty-handed feels like stepping down from an identity you were just handed. Whether they freeze you out or pull you up, the mechanism is the same. They are adjusting the distance between you and the object, and then offering you a way to close it. Now, zoom out. A normal brand wants to be everywhere. Billboards, subway ads, bus stops. The goal is reach. The goal is to be seen by as many people as possible. Ultra-luxury plays a different game. It does not chase visibility. It chooses it. A car park near a private jet. A watch worn at an art auction. A bag photographed at a place most people will never visit. The product borrows status from the room. Reach is not the point. Placement is. The room sells before the salesperson speaks. The marble, the space between objects, the single bag on a shelf made for 10, the walls that do not need to explain themselves. A discount store fills every shelf because it has to convince you the price is the reason. A luxury store empties every shelf because absence is the reason. Scarcity in the room becomes scarcity in the mind. Imagine the same object, a pair of shoes, a bottle, a small leather piece. Put it on a discount shelf with a yellow sticker. People glance. They check the price. They keep walking. Now put the exact same object on a silent pedestal under a single warm light. Add a polite hand, offering it on a velvet tray. The object did not change. The story around it did. The hand slows down. The voice lowers. The price becomes part of a ritual, and the ritual makes the price feel less like a number and more like a passage. A few years ago, Palessi did something quietly brilliant. They took their cheap shoes. They put them in a beautiful pop-up store. They called it Palessi. They invited influencers and well-dressed shoppers. The shoes were the same shoes you could buy for under $50 in a normal store. In the pop-up, some people praised them as luxury. Some were willing to pay hundreds. They were not stupid. They were human. The brain almost never judges an object alone. It judges the object inside the story around it. The lighting, the price tag, the room, the other people in the room. Sometimes people taste the setting before they taste the product. Now, look at one of the smallest objects in luxury. A watch. A wristwatch does not really tell time anymore. Almost everyone has a phone in their pocket that does that better. A luxury watch tells something else. It tells position. It is small enough to wear every day. Visible enough to be noticed by the people who know. Invisible to the people who don't. It can carry money. It can carry taste. It can carry recognition. A handshake at the right event, sleeve sliding back just a little. And a conversation changes before a single word is spoken. The object is small. The distance it signals is large. Look at a watch ad. So many of them show the same time, around 10 past 10. The hands rise like a small smile. They frame the brand name in the middle. They create symmetry. It looks natural. It is engineered. Luxury visuals are full of these tiny cues. Empty space around the product. Slow movement. Cold lighting. Precise language. Few adjectives. No exclamation marks. Nothing begs. Luxury whispers because shouting would make it cheaper. None of this means luxury is fake. Some pieces are genuinely well made. The leather is real. The hands at the bench are skilled. The factory is small. The materials are expensive. That is true, but it cannot explain everything. A better seam does not multiply a price by 10 on its own. A slightly better movement does not justify a $50,000 watch by itself. The numbers only make sense when you add the rest. The story, the scarcity, the waiting list, the boutique, the people who already own it, the people who never will. Quality may justify part of the price. Distance explains the rest. Back inside the boutique, Elias sees two customers. The first one moves carefully. He checks the price tag, slowly, like reading something dangerous. He glances at the staff before touching anything. His shoulders are slightly tense. He is trying to prove he belongs. The second one walks through the room like the room belongs to him. He does not look at prices. He picks something up, turns it once, puts it down. He laughs softly at something the salesperson says. He is not richer in the obvious sense. He is more confident in the social one. The product is the same for both of them. The emotional cost is not. And that is the part most people miss. Luxury does not only separate the rich from the poor, it separates the comfortable from the aspiring. Two people can have the same income, the same job, the same shoes, and one of them feels at home in the room, while the other one feels watched. The brand did not build that wall alone. The brand just learned how to charge for it. This video is not saying luxury is a scam. It is not saying everyone who buys it is shallow. It is not saying expensive things have no value. People have always paid for beauty. People have always paid for craft. People have always paid for symbols. That is older than any brand. The point is simpler. When the price climbs far above the cost, something else is being bought. A signal, a passport, a position in a room, a line between the inside and the outside. And once you can see that line, you cannot really unsee it. If this is the kind of lens you want to keep, this channel is here. Not to make the world louder, to help you see what was already there, the distance behind the logo, the distance hiding inside the price, the distance the room was selling before anyone spoke, the system that was working before you walked in. Elias steps back to the bag on the pedestal. The light has not changed. The price has not changed. The salesperson is still behind the counter, but something inside him has shifted. He is not asking the old question anymore. He is not asking, is it worth the price? He is asking a new one. What distance is this price trying to create? And which side of it am I supposed to feel on? Luxury is not only the bag. It is the silence around the bag. It is not only the watch. It is who understands the watch without asking. It is not only the car. It is the room where the car was photographed before you ever saw it. The product is the small visible part. The velvet rope is the rest. That is the part the price tag never says out loud. Luxury does not sell quality first. It sells distance. And distance is what makes people lean closer.